Alexander Isak, he'd be my number one target where Arsenal are concerned for, for a striking addition. Now, big up Kai Havertz. I want the best of both worlds. I want Kai Havertz with the form he's in, obviously doing his thing. It doesn't matter at this moment in time if a striker does arrive. Kai's not losing his place. Equally, I do think for Arsenal to get to the next level, we do need a striker, do need a versatile wide man. Nico Williams would be great. Probably need to sign a couple of long-term central midfielders, probably a couple of goalkeepers, and anything else Mikel Arteta wants. Now, I always look at the Alexander Isak rumours where Arsenal's concerned with a pinch of salt because A, he's at Newcastle, which is a big club. 2, they're not going to let him go lightly. 3, they're obviously in contract talks for him to get a new deal. 4, obviously, Arsenal need a striker. So I'm sure there's an admiration. We're getting the Sociedad boys back together. Mikel Merino's there, Odegaard's there, and I'm sure Odegaard would love to link up with Isak. Isak loves scoring against Spurs. The number 14 shirt is available. Get it done, people. But until I see people holding Arsenal shirts saying they grew up watching Thierry Henry, I don't know. And I think it's a summer thing at best, unless Arsenal were to turn into Chelsea and, pay ridiculous transfer fees. What Newcastle sources think Alexander Isak will do as issues arise during contract talks. Contract talks between Newcastle United and Alexander Isak have stalled, with the Premier League giants Arsenal and Chelsea sniffing around the Sweden international centre forward. Between him and Gyokeres, one of them needs to sign. Apparently, Newcastle are confident Anthony Gordon will commit his future. We were linked with Gordon towards the end of the transfer window, people. Newcastle, it should be said, believe that terms are close to being agreed with Alexander. Is that probably true, really? Still, talks with the 60 million striker have not progressed as smoothly as Eddie Howe and Cole would have likened. However, they have stalled in recent months, the negotiations first taking place in Easter. Now, naturally, they're going to stall. Obviously, naturally, Isak knows his worth. He knows he's one of the more sought-after strikers on the market if he became available. I guess he wants as much money as he potentially can and wants to be spoken of, how they're going to, get this Newcastle project going, really. So it's never going to be smooth. The longer it goes on, the more that Isak and his agents laughing. I don't think Newcastle will lose into Arsenal, but I hope to God I'm proven wrong. I was wrong about Alexis Sanchez and Aubameyang. Newcastle United talk stall as Chelsea and Arsenal eye Isak. Isak is likely to become Newcastle's joint highest earner, matching the 120 grand a week taken home by Bruno Guimaraes, but issues have arisen, I can never say that word, of late amid interest from Arsenal and Chelsea. Both clubs are in the market for central forwards. London rivals Arsenal and Chelsea looked at Sporting Lisbon's Gyokeres and Benjamin Sesko. Isak has also caught the eye after scoring 21 Premier League goals in 2023-24. You add in Kai Havertz getting 13 plus. You add in 21 Premier League goals, the numbers Saka's doing. If Martinelli can chip in, the goals from set pieces, if Odegaard finds his goal scoring boots again, we're laughing, people. Confidence remains, however, that Isak will follow in Gordon's footsteps, but the concern will be that Isak's new deal at Newcastle may include a release clause. TBR understands that the existence of such clause has been a key part of recent discussions. I'm sure he wants to play in the Champions League. While the fee is likely to be a considerable one, perhaps in excess of 100 million, both Arsenal and Chelsea have stumped up 9-figure sums in recent windows for Declan Rice, Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez respectively. I mean, we've only done it once and Declan Rice has been better than Caicedo and Enzo, really. Would love to have Isak, man. I reckon he'd get even more goals in this Arsenal system. We'll have to see. Apparently, Arsenal are closely monitoring outstanding German international after watching him play in Munich. Is this the mystery German we've been referring to all summer? I don't know. Arsenal are monitoring Stuttgart midfielder Jamie Lewing, who recently scored for Germany. I like him. I'm sure he can play out wide as well as, in a couple of other positions. I like him a lot. And at 23 years of age, can't give you an informed opinion, but I like what I've seen from the lad, and I think he'd be good for us. He was called up to the German team to replace Musiala in the recent international break, people. TBR understands Arsenal were in Munich on Monday to watch Lewing, having checked in on the 23-year-old's displays regularly this season. Arsenal are not the only Premier League side who are showing an interest in Lewin, but the Gunners were also in attendance in Munich to watch Ajax's João Hato. I listen, Mikel Arteta, you can have as many defenders as you want. If we could get Hato, Calafiori, Tomiyasu, for however long he's going to be here, Benjamin White, Saliba, Gabriel, such as the defensive ranks. I've probably missed out a name. It's Timber. It's crazy, people. I mean, would love the guy at the football club, really and truly, as well as how we've gone over is that we don't need to go over that anymore. Mika Beref has said returning to Arsenal would be fantastic. I mean, he's going to be playing in the Champions League / has played in the Champions League with Stuttgart. Needed to leave the club, the 23-year-old. Things are going well in Stuttgart. I have nothing to complain about right now. I play every week at a good level, and now we also play in the Champions League, where I'm still waiting for my first goal. If I keep playing well and scoring goals, hopefully a change can come. But right now, I'm focused on Stud and doing well and scoring goals. A return to Arsenal would be fantastic, but it's not something I'm focusing on right now. You keep doing your job, and with the greatest of respect to his current employers and the Austrian league, you probably make headwinds to move to a top 5 European league. Apparently, Arsenal are lining up an alternative for Bukayo Saka. We all know he needs cover. I know we've got Raheem Sterling and Gabriel Jesus, and I mean, even Ethan can play out wide and whatnot. But, you know, you ain't got the Nelson or Fabio Vieiras, nor did we get that long-term wide addition. Apparently, Football Insider has said, I'm sure they're already looking to strengthen in that position. I've heard the Arsenal hierarchy have held discussions about what happens if certain players get injured, and that includes Saka. Surely we had these conversations in the summer. They want to get to a point where they have a solid backup for every player in their starting 11. Long term, they'll be planning to strengthen in every position, but that applies to Saka certainly, because a winger who's always looking to take people on is likely to get a whack and pick up a knock. This latest blow isn't so serious, they hope, but with the way he plays, he'll always pick up these little issues. And, you know, it's difficult, really. You know, if we could find a versatile wide man that can play on the left and the right, great. If you could find someone that's quote unquote happy to be deputy to Bukayo Saka, great. And let me know your thoughts. Do you really think we'll bring someone in January? I do think, you know, if there's a Trossard or a Jorginho kind of deal to be done, I think the club will do it. Obviously, we did not get, you know, we didn't get Mudryk at Arsenal, and, you know, his luck might have been different if he signed for us, and he could have been the same or even worse, like he fares at Chelsea. But I only mention that because we was prepared to spend 60, 70 odd million in January if a player convinced. Is there a player that not only convinces, but there's an availability in January? I don't know. I don't think you get the Nico Williams, the Rafinhas, the Gyokereses, the Isaks. I'd love to be proven wrong. I don't think you get these guys in January, but we do need some backup and different options. Kieran Tierney has decided whether he wants to leave Arsenal to head back to Celtic. Have they got the money to afford your wages? Are you prepared to take a wage cut? Surely you only go there on loan. I'm not too sure, people. Tierney's days, unfortunately, are numbered. Had he have been fit, ironically, I think he would have grabbed some appearances for Arsenal at this moment. Apparently, he's ready to move back to Celtic. You know what? Home's where the heart is, man. You know, to say Tierney's stock has fallen, you know, for someone that was labelled as a captain potentially one day at Arsenal, is crazy. He's got 18 months left on his deal. We have 12 months left from in the summer. His stock has fallen. Some of it because he can't stay fit. A lot of it because we've changed how we use the fullbacks. I mean, a move back to Celtic could be right up your street, people. Brendan Rodgers apparently has refused to rule it out. He said they wouldn't be able to buy Tierney for 25 to 30 million and on top of his salary. I mean, I think on his day, that's good value for money, 20 to 30 million for Tierney. But are we in a position to get that from Tierney? He's alienated. You could argue he is the bottom of the pile, really and truly, where left back's concerned. You know what? Timber's going to play there ahead of him. Calafiori's going to play ahead of him. Who else is there? Timber, Calafiori, Tomiyasu. I'd reckon Kivior as well. Obviously, he's going to play ahead of him. You know, the only person that, if push comes to shove, Tierney might play ahead of is the young Lewis Skelly at left back, if it was a must-win kind of game sort of thing. Let me know your thoughts. But to be fair, whether he's worth it or not, worse players have gone for more. And, you know, I think if Tierney could stay fit, it'd be a different conversation. Zinchenko's another one that's going to play ahead of him, and his days could be numbered as well, to be fair. Is there a reality where, you know, there's a bit of chopping and changing? Because you can make a case of Zinchenko leaving next summer. You can make a case through injuries of Tomiyasu leaving next summer. You know, Tierney, obviously another one. Kivior, how long is, you know, I like Kivior at the club. He's a good body, but you're never going to be first choice centre half. You're never going to be first choice left back. How long is he going to want to stay in this sort of situation? So there could be, you know, going back to the Joao Hatto thing, I kind of hear that. And you could make a case of there's going to be a lot of turnover at fullback once again. Charles Watts has admitted that there could be some doubt over the future of Gabriel Jesus. I mean, if an offer comes from Saudi, I love Gabriel Jesus, but it's looking peak, really and truly. Gabriel Jesus is clearly struggling for confidence right now, which we hope he can get it back. You can see that by the way he's playing. I think, yeah, man, he's thinking about things too much. He's taking too many touches when he's in possession. And, you know, on the best of days, when Gabriel Jesus is at his best, the only major criticism is he makes the difficult look easy and the easy look difficult. And he will miss tap-ins and easy chances, but his influence is there. Whether it's injuries, not playing, not really being sharp, confidence, the last game he played was the one I really looked at and like, you didn't see Gabriel Jesus. Now, for me, one of Gabriel Jesus's biggest fans, I must admit, my patience is wearing thin. I do believe uncomfortable conversations are going to have to take place, next summer if we still have this stuff around him, not just him. Tomiyasu the same, Zini the same. Want to see him play well. For me, unless stupid offers come and we've got plans, and a lot of the players you can make a case of departing this football club, Kivio, Tomiyasu, Zinchenko, Gabriel Jesus. For me, I'm not letting none of them go in January, people. But it feels like he needs a touch of luck, and his fortunes need to change. He's nowhere near Kai Havertz's spot. He's nowhere near starting on the left-hand side. He's just a deputy at best, really. And as we know, when Jesus is at his best, he does things off the cuff. He creates chaos with his movement and his work rate. But right now, he's bringing more confusion than chaos with his play. I think there's certainly a chance that this could be his final season at the club. He is on big wages. But obviously, that is a decision that will be taken in the summer should any suitable offers arrive. I do expect Arsenal to bring in a forward, and that would limit Jesus' chances further. He's way behind Kai Havertz now in the pecking order. And it's tough to see him turning that around at present, given the form of both players. But whatever happens, he still has a big part to play this season. Arsenal are going to need Jesus, so it's crucial they help him improve and find his confidence again, because if they can do that, then they have a player who still has the quality to have a major say on this campaign. And I want Gabriel Jesus to get back to that debut 6 months he had at this football club. If you've got him on the top of his game, Kai Havertz on the top of his game, everybody else on the top of their game, Arsenal are laughing. Mikel Arteta is going to lose that precious hair deciding who needs to start and who's going to start. Apparently Arsenal legend believes Gabriel Jesus can still become better than Kai Havertz. Gilberto Silva is not going to turn on his Brazilian brethren, so it wasn't going to be a case of that. Jesus has suffered a lot with injuries, and that gets in the way. You break your rhythm. You always have to start over. It's a huge challenge for any player. But injuries have had a big impact on Jesus' loss of space, as he was out of action for a long time. It also opened up space for Havertz, who played in positions where Jesus would play. He ended up doing well there. However, as a 9, Jesus has the potential to do more if he's healthy, but Havertz came in so well that many people didn't even think about his absence. And I do think there is something from Jesus, but at this moment in time, for a 27-year-old, surely it's time to accept to a degree that I don't know why you can't score goals like that, but that's one mediocre aspect of your play. Surely we have to accept Jesus for what he is, in that you defo need to score goals. You can get goals and judge him appropriately. Kai Havertz offers us a more physical presence. I think, on the ball, Gabriel Jesus is better than Kai, but I think what Kai has, he's getting the most out of his game. And I think crucially, the way Jesus speaks about needing goals, but Havertz, has a lot of confidence now. And I think Havertz actually gets in the box and gets onto the end of things. He might miss some tappings, but he gets on the end of things. I can't say Gabriel Jesus always looks like he's trying to get on the end of things, really and truly. But I want him to get back into form, man. Gyokeres, the man keeps scoring goals for Sporting, keeps scoring goals for Sweden, just won't stop, and I'm sure Arsenal fans love him. Allegedly, Romano tells Arsenal what they must do to sign Gyokeres, the 26-year-old who has 100 million release clause, in brackets, that's about 85 odd million quid, been linked with Arsenal, Chelsea, and a bunch of others. Romano has said, let me say that the position of Sporting is clear. In January, they don't have any intention to negotiate the release clause. It's similar to what Benfica thought with Enzo Fernandez when they had Enzo after the 2022 World Cup. No chance to negotiate the release clause, pay the money or nothing. So they are very clear. At Sporting, 100 million for Gyokeres, or in January, goodbye, because the player is absolutely not considered for sale for 60, 65 or 70 million euros. This is Sporting's position next summer, we'll see. So if you want him, you have to pay an inconvenience fee. If not, wait until the summer of 2025. So it's fair to say, forget about Gyokeres. Jorginho's been linked with an exit now. Kind of going back to what I said about the other players, you could throw Partey and Jorginho in there. If we have a solution where if Jorginho or Partey leave and in January you're bringing in, I don't know, Zubamendi or someone, I'm all for that. That's great. But I don't think I'm letting Partey, Jorginho, Kivio, Tomiyasu, Gabriel Jesus, Zinchenko. We could cope with some of these guys going, but I wouldn't feel confident letting them go in January. In the summer, if that's what you want to do that in it. Jorginho is still wanted by Serie A clubs, and he's got a lot to consider, because I reckon if he wants it, Mikel Arteta might give him a coaching role, or he might be, even more marginalized next season, but he's a big character in and around the club and whatnot. We'll have to see. Partey's deal is running down. There are some rumors there's an option of a of a 1 year extension. I can't confirm that because I've never seen his contract, but apparently Jorginho is still drawing interest from Serie A clubs. Lokonga is obviously at Sevilla, where they have a 12 million buy clause. Apparently they want to negotiate that figure down and plan to discuss it with Arsenal later down the line, which is naturally, I can't begrudge Sevilla. Why would you not do that? You know, it's not an obligation like in Nuno Tavares' contract. So who knows? But with that being said, let me know your thoughts on everything we've discussed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the other videos. At the time of making this video earlier today, I actually did a video with Igal, you know, Arsenal fan. Make sure you're following his YouTube channel. So yeah, the content. And I'm happy to say, you know, the international break is getting past us now, and when we're heading into a busy October/November period, even December is packed with games. Obviously, there is going to be a point of another international break. Do you really need 3 before the end of the year off the back of a Euros and a Copa America? Let me stop ranting. But yeah, hit the like button, comment, subscribe. Appreciate you lot. We're a community here, people, and our community is rapidly approaching 70k. We need your help, people. Make sure you're smashing likes, you're commenting, you're subscribing. We're making the YouTube algorithm go crazy. But on that note, stay safe, stay blessed. Peace.